What is going on, everybody? Today I decided that gaming was not necessarily focus, so I want to go ahead and do something different. So maybe teach people how to do cool transitions like the ones that I use. So anyways, I'm going to be using a software called Blender. It's free. You can download it. It doesn't cost a dime, and it's really powerful. So it's just a great software. I'm currently looking for my brain's just not working right now. I'm trying to find a plugin or something that shows my cursor. I don't know. I've never used it before, so I need to quick Google it. Oopsies. Probably need to install it. Alright, I'll get that. I don't want to do that. Alright, I'll be right back. And we're back. Imagine that. That wasn't so bad. So now we should be able to see what keys I'm pushing. Click, click, test, test. Nope, doesn't work. Alright. Maybe you need a Blender reset. Okay, decide to capture it this time. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. You know, no big deal. Let's do a window capture instead. Fit that to screen. We'd probably make it a little bit wider, make it fit to screen a little bit better. Oh wow, we can go a lot wider. Okay. Here, we'll just do stretch to fit. Problem solved. Anyways, so this is pretty much where we all start in Blender. Let me see if I have that screen, if I have that add-on added on, so you can actually see what I'm doing. Looks like everything is good. Update. Double check. Sweet. Should be good. Should be able to see what I do, but maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Nope. Anyways, there I just hit X and then A for select all and then X to delete. So, yeah, so anyway, Shift A, you can make all kinds of cool stuff, but let's start out with text. So I'm gonna hit 7 to go ahead and look from the top view. So your number keys are gonna move you around in various ways, but 7 is your top view. It's pretty simple. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and click down here in the tools panel. Once you have a text selected, you'll have this text pop up. You'll be able to do stuff with it. So you go to like geometry, and I'm gonna extrude this just a couple mils, and you can right mouse click, or middle mouse click, I'm sorry, you can middle mouse click and look around. Pretty basic. Yeah, and you can see, okay, cool, I like that, blah, blah, blah. So text. But say you want to change your text and you can't figure out how you're typing and just weird things are happening. Well, you need to hit tab to go into edit mode. This is really important in Blender, so kind of remember that hotkey. So tab will take you into edit mode and now you can type. So let's go ahead and do D. Let's see, I need to scroll out. There, that's someone that is a follower / streamer friend of mine. So we can keep it like that. And now we have just the text that we're gonna work with here. Pretty simple stuff, nothing fancy. But anyways, I'm still in edit mode. I wanna get out, I hit tab. Pretty straightforward. You can do a lot of stuff in, I hit Control All to select all. That's just like any other program, but you can do a lot of stuff in here like beveling, which I don't like to do because I don't think it looks good. Setting the resolution, so now it can look like it's kind of like machined. You can not do that. I mean, it's up to you. So we'll do like a 0.1 with 0 resolution and leave it that way, right? Not super crazy. And then anyways, now that we're done editing, I think it's fine. We'll get out. You said, wait, but I want to change the color. How? I'm not done editing. Well, don't worry. You don't change the color in Blender like that. So we go out of edit mode. Now we're in regular mode. You can tell because, you know, you can actually like do stuff. Anyways, so we want to change the color. We're going to go down here to the very bottom of the tools tab, not textures, but materials. We're going to click new, and it's going to automatically put you into this surface texture called Principled BSDF, I think. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, so I recommend just using that right out the gate. There's no reason to go crazy, and you can change its color to whatever you want. So I'm going to go with this like nice kind of baby blue, and it doesn't look like it's changed, but if you look up here in the top right, it's just showing you the most basic thing, because Blender can get really complicated and you don't want to bog down your system with just like random crap. So materials, just having those colors can slow down a weaker system, and on a really big scene it can slow down even a beastly system. So, and then so we have that, we have a wireframe, which can be really useful if you're looking to make some seriously big stuff, but at the moment we're really not. So we could probably almost go into full rendered mode, and you're probably like, oh, that looks different. Well, that's because the lighting hasn't been put in yet. Yes, we have to count for lighting too, so no problem. But so yeah, but anyways, a trick that I like to do here is I don't want to leave this as text. For a lot of reasons, it's just frustrating for me to work with. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to go up here and just scroll through these right here and look for object, I believe. Convert to mesh from. See, I'm gonna hold there so in case anybody's watching the VOD, they can kind of get that from it. So bam. So now it should be converted. And anyways, so you can see when I go into edit mode now, it just looks like a bunch of dots, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna hit A to select all, and then I'm going to try and separate. So you could hit P from here and then hit separate by loose parts, or you could select each one, like if you wanted to do D, just a D, or you wanted to have one singular word. This would be useful for if you wanted each one of these to rotate individually or something along those lines. But I don't care, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go with select all, hit P, or you could go up here to mesh separate by loose parts. Now this isn't exactly the best way to do it because you get stuff like that. So I forgot that before I did it, to be perfectly honest with you. So a good way to do it is in fact to hit 7, get your top view, go like that, hit P, separate by selected. But see, that didn't work, and there's a reason for that, because it only selected the top ones. So if you hit 7 and you want to select the entire D, you're going to want to go up here in the top right and hit show x-rays, or you could do the wireframe, but show x-rays is a little bit easier. And then when you hit B for box select, it selects the entire D. Now when we hit P and hit by selection, we can go like this, and oh, it didn't work again. Well, what the crap, man. I have an idea. That's annoying. I was unhappy about my decision to convert it into itself. So I have an idea. So let's select the D, go into mesh, clean up, merge by distance, click the little thing that pops up, and then that should have done it. So now let's select it again, hit P, selection. Now when I click it, it should all be one. What the crap, man? What's your problem? Alright, whatever. Problem solver right here. Just hit J or Control J, and it'll join them all together. See? So that's an easy fix. It's annoying, but it's easy. So you can move the D around independently, rotate it around its point. The reason it's rotating like this is because this point right here is where it's going to rotate. May not seem straightforward at first, but yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and select it all, and we can just move it. And if you're going to move things, just like I did, I definitely recommend being in the top view, so hitting 7 on the numpad. Otherwise, if I tried to move it like this, it would end up being off the Z axis. So we have a bunch of different axes to rotate around. So anyways, I'm going to exit edit mode, and now when I rotate it, woo! Cool, right? I know it's really not all that cool, but it is stuff. This is a free way to do really cool animations for your stream. So can't all be winners now, can they? Anyways, so we still have all of this to do. So let's go ahead and select all of that. Go Control J. So now is gonna be its own deal. And again, hit 7 to go to top view, go into tab, hit tab for edit mode. You can go ahead and select it all if you still have this show x-ray on. And I'm gonna move it over here, and when I exit out of edit mode by hitting tab, it'll rotate around itself. Pretty straightforward. Hi Mitch Gamer, how's it going? So same, we're just gonna kind of repeat this process, Control J to make them all, go into shift, or tab I mean. I'm gonna move it over here and just put it centrally over that dot. How's it going? I'm doing well, man. CC. Okay. Now I'm gonna just select all of that. Control J to join it all together. And then let's see. Oh no, it's still doing that thing. So tab. These should be different objects. So, okay. What? There we go. I didn't control J it, I guess. There we go. Control J. Okay, now shift A for all and move it over. We'll put it kind of central. And how I'm moving around like this is I'm holding shift middle mouse button. That's a little tip there to kind of navigate. So exit edit mode. Move it back over. There. So now that we've done that, we can really easily like move our stuff around. How do you move stuff? Well, you click it with the left mouse and then you hit G and that'll move it around if you want to move it on a certain axis. So red line is X. There we go. If you want to move it around up and down, there we go. If you want to move it in this manner, see, pretty simple stuff. But still having a weird thing where they're not all joined. So I gotta go back and make sure that everything gets joined. Maybe if I do the mesh cleanup thing. Nope, didn't do anything. What the crap? Did I not control J this? Maybe I did, but I didn't select all of it. Yeah. So that's what happened. I didn't select all of it. Let me go top view here. There. So if I hit Alt A, it'll make it all go away. I can select this guy, Control J. So I wasn't selecting the entirety of the thing. That's what happened. Sometimes Blender can be a little bit annoying like that. By sometimes I mean it takes a long time to learn this freaking software, so. Okay, now join them all. There we go. There we go. Go in edit mode. Hit A for select all. There we go. So that just makes it easier to rotate things or whatever around their actual selves. So little easy way to, like, for me it's easier to work text like that than it is to try and do it through the text editor, because in all honesty the text editor is kind of crap. So yeah, why is this cool? Well, okay, now we go into viewport shading and it just kind of looks like that. So I'm gonna hit Shift A and add in some lighting. Yay! Let's say a sun. Move it up. Rotate, so hit R to rotate, or whichever direction you want to come from. That's pretty cool. Not like super cool, but it is something. So there we have like a logo or a name, or you could say BRB or starting soon or whatever. This is a horrible, horrible song. So much no. And then a cool thing you can do is if you want to add another sun, so Shift A, rotate it with R, you can change the color. And now if you want to do this overall, like you want to change it as you go, you should have down here a timeline. It's the default timeline. And if you hit space, you'll work through it. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to 1. I'm gonna go over here to light color and hit I. Go back over to 250, so the end and start will be the same. And check this out. So if I go here and I change the color now to red, that's kind of pink. And then hit I there, and then say frame 90. I want it to be green. Hit I again. You're hitting I on the color, guys. It's very important. Okay. Now we'll go to frame 140. Make it purple. Hit I on the color. And then here we'll go orange and hit I there. Now, this is kind of annoying because it's reacting with the actual color of the material. And remember, we set that to be like a white, or it wasn't white. We changed the color of it. So these are all linked because they were created the same. Anyways, if we go through, it'll change color because the light itself is changing color. Actually, the reason these all change to white is because they all share the same material that we created earlier. So we can actually go ahead and be like, oh, I want this to be glossy. But oh, I want to adjust that so it's super glossy. See, so you can make things look the way you want. It's gray in the background and I don't like that, so let's go ahead and add, so Shift A, add a plane, right? Hit S to scale that thing way up. But why is this plane changing the same color of light? Ah, it looks horrible. Well, go to materials, hit new, change the color to black. You can do a lot of things here, but really the easiest thing to do would be to like change it to like a velvet texture or something. But that didn't seem to do what I wanted it to do, to be honest with you. Oh, it changed it to white, that's why. So this could be a screen. But how would you do that? Well, you'd have to render it. So again, you need to add something. So Shift A and hit the camera. All right, the camera is not where you're at, and that's annoying. So Control Alt 0. I'm just kind of going over Blender stuff, teaching people how to make stuff for the stream. So there's your camera. If you hit 0, you can see through it. It's a lot easier sometimes to adjust the size of what you're looking at than it is to adjust your camera, just in all honesty. So there, that would be a very simple thing to render out. To do that, you'd go over to the little camera, you'd go down to the printer and tell it where you want to go here at output. Click there and tell it where to go. Easy. It really isn't too hard if you just spend a little bit of time learning Blender. And then, yeah, so you should be able to export it as a JPEG, or I definitely wouldn't recommend PNGs because it just turns out to be a bunch of different files. It'd be 250 different images. Oh, but if you export as a JPEG, it's just one video. So yeah, that's one way to do it. I would go into particles and stuff, but I feel like that's a little crazy, so. Alright, let's start a new one, and I'll teach you how to like make something rotate. Nope, this card changes. So let's get rid of everything, hit All and then X, hit A and then X. And hit 7, Shift A to open up text. Remember, to edit text, you have to go in edit mode. There we go. So that's going to be my text. I want to change its material to be... yeah, but they're not like these particles. They're just 2D, they're not 3D. Intivase, let's make it pink. And I told you I was going to do rotation, so let's go ahead and extrude this a little bit, go into geometry. What? Not offset. Yeah, but I don't think they're really for beginners on light. There, perfect. Just leave it like that. And then, where is it at? Object, convert to, Forgot the hotkey for that, so oops. I'm just gonna select all, and then hit Control J. What? What? Who more watching? Who else is? I don't know. I have no idea. Edit mode. But I constantly get people asking me how to do this stuff, so I do it, and then whether they show up or not is their prerogative. Anyways, so if you want this to rotate, this is very simple, guys. Like, people make this way too complicated. Just hit I and this screen right here, rotation. You're gonna want, because this is gonna end up being a loop for your stream, you're gonna want to put the same rotation at the start and end of your video, whether it be 250 frames or more. And we'll go to 125, and then we'll rotate it. Here, easy way to do that is to hit N and go over here. So we want it to rotate, I believe, around Y. Yeah, rotate around Y. That will work. And I realized that I was wrong. No. So we'll go there. We'll set 180 in the middle. And because it's just gonna like go to 180 and then go back to 0, that's not good. What we're gonna want to do is go here and type in 360, because, you know, basic math. So sweet. Now we have a rotatey bajigger. Let's put our plane in. Move it way down so that it doesn't interact with the text at all, unless you want it to, which would be weird because clipping sucks. Add a light source. A sun always works, pretty easy. Rotate a little bit. And then we'll go into there. And a good background texture or material is always velvet, I think, because it absorbs a lot of light. So if I hit that, then what? It rotates. You can see it actually clipped through my background right there. Just click the background, hit G for moving, and then Z to move it down on the Z axis. Pretty simple. So to avoid clipping, because I don't like clipping. But let's go ahead and set this to glossy. Oh, thank you so much. We can lower the roughness of it so that it looks like it's a little more metallic. And if you had that on loop for your stream, you would just continuously do that over and over and over and over again. Now, if you want to figure out how to make it do it like more fluid and not slow down at the start and stop, that's YouTube that, because I don't feel like explaining it. Sorry. What else? Yeah, I guess I could talk about particles. No, not save. Why did I hit save? Nope, just new. Just general new to discard. Alright. I always start from scratch, so I delete everything. So you want to add something, Shift A. Let's go ahead and add an icosphere. Way, an icosphere, it's so beautiful. Particles over here. Right there. They look like little being emitted. I'm gonna hit plus on that, right? And then if I hit start, it's gonna start throwing out little balls. Well, here's the problem with that, is you can't really see. They look like crap, to be perfectly honest with you. They just look like poo-poo caca. So what I'm gonna do is add another cube, move it on over here. You are, yeah. Onlight, yeah, Mitch Gamer is. And I'm gonna go be in this icosphere again. So I have the cube over here, just cubing it up. Icosphere over here. Pretty basic, right? Anyways, I'm gonna go down to render, and it says render as halo. I don't want that. I want to render as an object. Which object, it asks? Well, the cube, of course. Yay, okay, cool. So we still have particles that just kind of fall to the ground. Well, that makes sense. Easy way to fix that is go into field weights, gravity, 0. What? Now they just kind of go off into the distance. That doesn't look very good. Well, that's because particles kind of suck, and there's a lot to do. So, render, show emitter, let's get rid of that. So, a cool thing you can do to make your particles not look like crap, and make them look like they're actually doing something, is you can add and force fields. Yay! Yes, fucking force fields. Turbulence is the one to start with. So turbulence, and I believe that is affected in the physics tab. Yep. So once you have your turbulence field selected, just put it right there. Go into your physics tab, and go ahead and make the strength. Freaking pump it up. Yes. Cool thing you can do now, because it still looks kind of funky. Oh yeah, I never actually gave this material. Let's give this a material and add light so that this all actually looks like something. One sec. Need to add a light source. And we'll add our little background, which is just going to be our standard plane stretched out and made black. Yay, okay. Why is its emitter showing? Dang it. I'm just kidding. It won't show in the actual render, but it'll show here. So yeah, well, you can mess around a lot in here, a lot, and you can say like velocity is very important. So we'll say, okay, well, we want it to spit out faster, and you adjust that. Cool. Randomize is always good to randomize your stuff. Cool. Rotation. If you click rotation, you'll want to go down here and click dynamic, and go randomize is always good. Yeah. So whenever, if you want to change what your little particles look like, you actually need to adjust the cube, which is go to click the cube and then go to its materials. Like, oh, I want these to be shiny. Okay, well, add a glossy texture to them, and they turned white, so I need to change that. Yep. Pretty straightforward. And okay, well, there you go. Too textury. Okay. Pretty straightforward there. But there's so much you can do with textures, and so much you shouldn't do with textures. Like, what I shouldn't do is go over to here to emissions and type in 100,000. I'll type in 10,000. You can see it looks totally freaking different. Let's see if I can actually like render this scene out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, so I'm not going to. But let's go ahead and change the damp here. So you go into physics while you have your particle dealio selected, and they should come out and damper out a little bit. So there's another cool effect to be had there. Let's see. You can make their lifetime a lot longer. So let's say we wanted to live for 250, but we want them all to come out within the first 5 frames, right? So now it just looks like a living creature, essentially, which is actually pretty cool. We want their sizes to be different, maybe, because they all kind of look like the same. So let's figure that out. Let's go on down to object. Is it an extra? No. Where are you at? Where are you? Oh, viewport display. We can show emitter. We can get rid of that. Should kind of give you a better idea what it's going to look like. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with particles. I still want to change the size, though. Have it be more random. Where is it? I can't remember. I think it's in render. Scale randomness. There it is, yeah. So you can see him changing in size. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of looks like a living creature. You want to go out a little further or do something. Remember, you still have your force field to mess with. Now what a force field is, or what turbulence is, actually it's a black and white static photo. So when you change it and you change the size, you're changing the size of the static, essentially. So you can get smaller curls or bigger curls, depending. So they would curl in on black and curl out on white, essentially. It's just static is all it is. Just a big 3D static, kind of like our universe. Which is why it kind of looks like the universe when it does its thing over a long enough period of time. Here, let's set this to 1000. Let these particles live for that long and see what happens. So click them, go to particles, go to lifetime, 1000. Okay, we're gonna have to start it back over because obviously it didn't take. I don't want my world to be this color, so I'm gonna click the world button. Looks like planet Earth. Go like that. Now I can get rid of this background. Where'd my light source go? Is it just straight down? Oh lordy. Alright, let's turn the light. Oh, the color of the light. Oh shit, no, I'm in the wrong thing. Hold up. Light. Click the light. There we go. Let's turn the strength of the light up. See? Kind of looks cool. You can see that the turbulence will eventually capture them and kind of like force them to go in specific ways. It's pretty straightforward, but it takes a lot of like trying to figure shit out to understand it, I guess. It's not easy. People act like it's really easy, but it does take some practice. So lots of farting around and figuring stuff out. So we could also add another force in here. So could Shift A to add, then go down to forces, and let's do a vortex because those are fun. And so the vortex that we have selected, we need to go to the physics tab, and we can affect its. See, so that just turned it into a giant tornado, which isn't exactly what I was going for, to be perfectly honest with you. Inflow. Vortexes can be tricky, but they're pretty cool actually. I don't want it to push them all together. Yeah. Anyways, let's get rid of the vortex. I don't like it. And actually, the field of turbulence itself can be rotated and moved. So let's try that. So let's say from 0, we hit I. Remember, hit location to 250. We're gonna move it on the x-axis there. So let's see. It should move the particles with it. Not a lot, because remember, it's just moving the static is all it's doing, but it's definitely a cool way to affect your particles. So if you're wondering why the heck this has anything to do with streaming, well, imagine like you're streaming and you do a transition and you want your transition to be really epic, right? So let's go ahead and go into particles. Where is this thing at? You can have that move is what I'm trying to say. Let's set this back to 250. Particles don't need to live for 1000. So let's say our screen is what you see here. So I'm going to add a Shift A, add a camera. As I said before, if you want the camera to be where you are, hit Control Alt 0. So this is what you see. Start on the screen. It's just a black screen. Maybe your game is there and your camera is there, but you want to use particles to your advantage to have like this cool effect. So go ahead and... Are we selected the particles? Yeah. Location. And then we'll move on over here. Where'd my freaking... My particle thing disappeared on me. Where'd it go? Oh, I have it not showing. I got you, don't worry. Let's get that back. So viewport, show emitter. There we go. So move on over to the end here. Move it over. Bear with me. Should be pretty cool, and it should move across the screen. It doesn't look like it wants to. Oh, I didn't actually hit I. Oops, my bad. Hit G, move it over here. I, location. There we go. Now our stream starts and nothing happens. Why is that? Well, because they're all coming out at the first 5 keyframes, so my bad. Let's say first 150, and then we'll try that again. My bad. So you could have something like that happen. And they're all gonna die at once, which is really kind of ugly. Way to fix that is to go into your particles, lifetime randomness cranked. And now they'll just randomly die. Pretty simple, right? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to play with this, guys. It's not just the singular way. So yeah, you just kind of mess around with your stuff, see what you like. Blender is a huge program. You can add force fields in places that you didn't have before, so let's go ahead and do that. Add force field, say wind. Okay, well, which direction is the wind blowing? Blowing up? Well, we don't want that. So rotation, hit R around Y, 90 degrees. Scale it up, just make it easier to see. Okay, now we can go into that, same as anything else, and affect it. What? Now we have a wind blowing the particles across the screen. There's so much stuff you can do here, and there's so many videos that are made on this exact thing. So anyways, if you're watching the VOD, I hope that I've been helpful. I really can't think of anything else that a streamer could use. I mean, maybe make like a frame, but that comes down, you don't really need to use Blender to do that. Why is it? I don't like how they're all like dying at once still. It's really annoying to me. It's pretty darn annoying, but you know, there's a lot more stuff that you can do and deeper into Blender to figure that out. What? Called nodes. Good luck. I'm not competent enough to go into nodes and go around telling people that I know what I'm doing. So yeah, you could also make them live longer than, yeah, do whatever you want, but you could have them die at like, say they only get 50 frames to live, 68 or whatever. So there you go. So that could be a thing that you do for the beginning of your stream. You come on. Now that may not be the best example. I know it's not pretty, so let's figure out a way to make it slightly more pretty, right? Like so. Where is it? Its final destination is over here. Let's move it to right there. Okay? Not on stream. Hit I, location. Go back to the beginning. And now this is what you'd see. Hi Skiller, how's it going? So that could be a cool thing that you do at the beginning of your stream. Then you could even push the wind a little bit further if you wanted to. Like, oh, I want more wind. So yeah, cool stuff you could do. How's it going, Skiller? Let's change that turbulence strength to Wichita, super strong. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of crap you can do. Nothing's going. You can just copy and paste the same thing. Well, don't copy and paste, but do more particles and have different colors and stuff. Oh, that's been good. It's been good, man. Can't complain. Just trying to go over stuff that people wanted me to go over, and I don't think anybody who requested it is actually here, so that's fun. But yeah, there's so many tutorials on the internet about this stuff. I'm not the best. Hey, thanks for the host. I'm not the best to do like explanations of things, so thinking of redoing your YouTube channel? You mean like doing all the graphics and stuff? But yeah, that'd make a decent transition. Just get a new one, discard that. But I wouldn't use Blender for 2D animations, to be perfectly honest with you. I know some people that do, but it's just not as good as like Adobe Illustrator or even like Inkscape and stuff like that. Or just friggin' pencil and paper. People underestimate how good pencil and paper with a good photography, like a good photo of it, can look on screen. People always assume that if it's on a computer screen, it has to be made on a computer screen, but that's very wrong. Very, very wrong. A couple of cool other things you can do. I can't think about them. I've done so many random crap. Done so much random crap. There's sculpting, but I don't think that would be helpful in streaming. AX, delete everything. Let's bring a plane in here. Go into edit mode, so I hit tab. And then right click, subdivide. Down here, subdivide it quite a few times. Fractals. Just slightly fractal it. This makes a decent background if you're looking for something for your stream or whatever. Then you give it a material, same as any other. So I'm gonna go with glossy. Dark gray. Need a light source, of course. And a camera. Shift A. Go to camera. Okay, I want the camera to be here, so that was Control Alt 0. And I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, so that could be a cool backdrop. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but it can be pretty cool. You can mess with it, do all kinds of stuff with it, like make it kind of dance if you were to change the. This is just me scaling along the Z-axis. So I'll show you what that looks like. So in edit mode, I'm actually scaling it along the Z-axis like this. So you can go like to 0 and then back out and then, yeah. See? Let's do that while looking at it from this angle. S for scale, Z. Pretty cool. So you want to see what that looks like for a background? Well, let's start here. Oop. I have to be out of edit mode in order to do that. Start to re-upload and redo my channel design. That's gonna take so long. Scaling. Because most things on stream you're gonna want to be able to loop. You're gonna want to always set the same keyframe from the start of your video to the end. Always. It just makes it a lot easier. And then here, I'm gonna go ahead and go into edit mode, scale along Z, like I said. Do that, leave edit mode, hit I, scaling. So I put, it should work. Guess it doesn't want to work. Why don't you want to work? What did I do wrong? Okay, I'm just gonna do it here and then I'm gonna hit I over that. Yeah, now it's working. So you can see it kind of like, that could be a cool background for a stream or whatever. And if you want it to be more detailed, go into edit mode, right click, subdivide. Do more fractals. You can subdivide this a lot. Yeah, you can also change the material to be like, Toon's pretty good. You can change a lot of stuff about it. Most basic one is gonna be, there's a cool idea. Do it in glass. Take the roughness up a little bit. Add something behind it, like a mesh, an actual plane. And then make that. Go to principal, go to your, and make that an emission. This is glass, right? Oh, because I'm at Eevee. Hold on, so I need to change to cycles to see through this. Cycles is really hard to see. I'd have to actually render it out for you guys to see what I'm talking about, so that won't work for this particular stream. But you could mess around with cycles and lighting and glass. But so yeah, if you had like your frame here, maybe I could give you an example. So here's your camera. Put your camera there. Maybe put your game here. I don't know. And you can have like your text box over here. Not really my cup of tea, but you could definitely do it. Something like that. And the background will be moving. Meh. Like I said, it's not really my cup of tea, but that doesn't, you know, whatever floats your boat. Having a background can be really cool, especially a unique one that you've made yourself. So let's scale that down, and then maybe you have like stream announcements down here or something. I don't know. I like to keep mine really simple, but yeah. If you wanted to do that, and the best way to render it would be to select all of to do this. So you select these and you go into materials and you set it to a holdout material. Alright, now because only one of them changed, we're going to want to go to object, make links. See, this is not as easy as everyone thinks it is. And what that does is it makes it so that it doesn't render the areas here, that these squares won't be rendered. It'll just be transparent. And you can just go ahead and put your game underneath. You can put your camera underneath the layer on OBS, and it makes it so freaking much easier than trying to do it with, like, I don't know. It's just a whole different ball game of easiness. Because if you try and you can put your camera, you can put your game over and stuff like that, but this way it's always the same, and you don't have to mess with layouts and stuff. Yeah, and you put chat here to the right, and whatever, I don't know what this box would do, but you could put something there and your camera here, whatever. There's just one option for people who might want to have some really crazy hectic crap going on in this stream. See, that doesn't work because it clips through, so I need to move it down a little bit. And I mean, you could Wow, it's still clipping through? Okay. You do a lot of crap with this, like, ah! Again, we could subdivide it even further. But this, the more you do this, the more you're pushing your luck on your computer. If you really wanted to, you go shade smooth and have it look like a moving flag or something. Hopefully your creativity is flowing, I don't know. Anyways, it wasn't meant to be a long stream. I just wanted to get the VOD out there so that people could see cool stuff they could do on Blender. Totally free software for their streaming or YouTube channels or whatever. Hopefully that some of these ideas have inspired you. Check out Blender Guru on YouTube. He's fantastic. There's a bunch of people on Blender, and you'll be able to learn Blender pretty quickly. Definitely be able to do some stuff, but there's a lot of Blender tutorials out there. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.